Good morning, guys. One second. Not that one. Mm, All right. Okay. Let me know if you can see, guys. I'm just. Oh, I tell you what I need to do. Let me put a hat on because I've got why is my camera not working? Properties. No. Scenes. Right. Okay. If I can't get the camera on, bear with me a second. I can't remember where the camera is. Sources. Results. Properties. No. All right. Okay. No worries. I actually can't remember how to get the camera on YouTube. So apologies, guys. Okay. So I will have. I'm just going to go back and let's get to trading view, and then we'll start looking for some opportunities. Price is in a zone right now that I'm quite interested in, but we're breaking to the downside. So let me just switch back to trading view. Okay. YouTube. Let's get. Don't know what that is. Yep. The, yes. Okay. Remove all drawings. All right. Morning, guys. Right. What happened yesterday? Well, yesterday was an absolutely one-directional day. From the open, pretty much just went straight parabolic north, and I would suggest that's the bias for today. But I wanted to see a pullback before um, we actually start looking for buyers, and we're probably in that uh, period right now where we can start looking for continuation trades for the BPCs, but we've actually got to wait for buyers to step into the market. So until that happens, short term contrarian trades to the downside. I have taken one quick 25 pip first trade this morning, which was effectively the break of this low here, 30-minute. This one here, sellers came in, boom, inside candle, next one, we got triggered in on the low, and then it moved. Now I'm just looking for price to find buyers potentially to come in here, or maybe we can look for breakout sells. No, I'm just going to wait for buys here. My next sell will be underneath here. Okay, so traffic in this area is just a little bit too much. So we can look for from this point here, BPC long, 4575.4. So remember, BPC, it just means we've had the breakout, we're having a pullback, and we're just looking for a continuation. So we're just looking for support in theory to be formed in an area where we've got clean traffic to the upside. That's it. Here we can look for sell below 4566 slash BPC long. So remember, where we're looking for the BPC, it's like an early entry into the next impulsive move where the market moves higher. That's it. As long as we've got clean traffic. So here we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bearish candles with literally no wicks other than this one here. So the market, in theory, if we're going to find buyers here, it's got plenty of clean traffic to drive up and run up into the range here. So we've got 15 minutes to wait. Could price break the low of this candle? Yeah, it could. Is it something I'd want to trade? No, because we're just going to run into this traffic. So we're going to wait 15 minutes for price to, excuse me, 1 second. Actually, there's me. I'm just saying, excuse me 1 second, but you've no idea. I was just standing up because my camera's not working. Yeah. Let me try this one. Video, image game. Webcam. Let me just try this. See if this works because I do. Aha. There we go. There we go. Good morning, team. So I finally found out where it was. So as it stands, yeah, we've got to wait 15 minutes for opportunities here. Let me just see. News. Morning, Gandalf. Is there any specific news today? Oops. Forex Factory. Tuesday. Oh, CPI 130. Huh. I'm not sure I'll be back for that either today, which will be a little bit of a shame. Text. Major news. USD 1330. Core. CPI. Month on. We've got 1330. CPI month on month. And then, last but not least, CPI year on year. So if you've just tuned in, we are looking for BPC longs in this area. So the idea or the concept that we're looking for are buyers to come in at this price point. So that means we need to see a buyer candle. Then we're going to wait for a wick down. Then we're going to trade it back into this range here where we've got all these nice candles to trade into. Sells would look underneath 45.66, or we'd also look for a BPC from this same price point. As I was saying earlier, BPC just means we're looking for a continuation of the higher time frame trend. So you've had the breakout, we're having a pullback, and now we're looking for a continuation. Peter Cole, bottom left, probably better so that we can see the FX pair. Oh, Peter, I only trade 3 markets. You know, in the morning it's gold and DAX, in the afternoon gold and NASDQ. So I'm sure the price, if I was trading loads of markets, I'd understand. It's either going to be 4,000 and something or 24 or 25,000 and something. And if it's 25,000 and something, you sure as hell better hope gold hadn't rallied to that overnight. Unless you're in a buy, then happy days. With my eyesight. Talking about that little new acquisition. I can now. I just can't get my head. Can't get my head around them. I put them on, and I feel like I'm looking at the screen through binoculars. Jesus, I'm so used to seeing them now. Yes, I mean, look, you could look at it through the 5 minute, but I would much rather. God, it's just messed my eyes up now. Not that I could see in the first place, but I can't get used to them. I've been so used to trying to see this the small numbers. As soon as I put these on, everything's like, and then I turn around quickly, and the whole room goes into like I can't even explain what it looks like. The joys of getting younger every day. Could you look at the DAX briefly? I can see where the buy above is, but 50-minute chart is confusing. I can't see where my sell. Yeah, sure, buddy. Yeah, we've got what, 9 minutes left here. Ooh, okay. So this is where I'd have the sell below. Oh, that's 5 minute. Hold on. Yep, same place. Let's have a look. Oh no, I wouldn't. Look like a bigger range. Probably all the way down here looking at these. Oh gosh. I think I'd stay away from the 15 minute to be fair, buddy. No, 30 minute. Yeah, stay away from the 30. Stay away from the 15 for the sells. So if we just look at the DAX, it's going to be quite a simple meaning in terms of bias equals buys. I'll ramp that one up. We're going to look for buys above 25,461 and sell below. Now remember, if the market doesn't look clear on the time frame you're looking at, what should you do? The time, pleasure, buddy. So always think if the time frame you're looking at doesn't look clear, okay, so stay away from that time frame, but go up a time frame. If it doesn't look clear, go up a time frame. Why do we go up a time frame? Any ideas why we go up a time frame? So when you go up a time frame, what happens is you reduce the number of candles. So you're reducing the noise on the chart. So if you go from the 15 to the 30, you've got half as much. Yeah, but you gotta. But why would it be clearer? It'd be clearer because you're reducing the noise. So for every two candles, you're now getting one. If you go from the 15 to the 30, and if you go from the 30 to the 1 hour, you're getting one candle for every two. So you've just reduced the noise by 400 times, gone from four candles down to one. Yeah, so sometimes you just have to eliminate the smaller time frame because it doesn't look right. You have too many bodies, but that also means you have to make a note of the time frame you look at, because if you then try and manage it on the 15, sure as hell you're probably going to land into mess when you're looking at the 15. Yeah, it might start hitting one of the small bodies or one of the wicks. The market might stop and slow, and you start to manage the trade off the 15. You get stopped out, and boom, you're out the trade. It might be a small loss, it might be a small win, it might be a big loss. I don't know, but realistically, what you should have done is manage it off the higher time frame. Right, well, we've got 5 minutes until. Okay, so this is potentially looking okay. So what we need is we need this white candle, bullish candle, to close above the 45.75 level. If it does, next candle, look for a wick down. Unless the 5 minute has a bearish candle, we could use that as an opportunity to get above this high. So 4 minutes. Right, let's go back to, we'll go to trading view in a minute or two. There's no point to, okay, NASDAQ will be looking good for, I was on a coaching session with Chris Armstrong last night, and we were looking at this area, and I said, yeah, I'd be interested in NASDAQ breakouts if we'd had a pullback first. So we've not had the pullback. So new area for NASDAQ longs is here, NASDAQ shorts here, based off the hourly. 30 looks good. 15, just adjust. Bias, probably. No, definitely if we get above the high there in the NASDAQ, and then we've got this room to run up into towards the 26,000 even handle. So you've also potentially, you could trade the daily flip, to be fair, on the NASDAQ. Let me just drop that in as a different color. Okay, so the daily flip is here. I'd personally skip on that one because you're trading into mess. So just remember, just because you see a daily flip, or yes, it could still work, and it could be perfectly fine, but I'm going to sit out of that one. All right, let's have a look. So I'm just going to put, okay, this is where the old bins have got to come on now. Wow, look at that. I think I just need to change the color of the yellow line because it doesn't help with the numbers. High is 45.83.50, so that's fine. Let's put this up here. This can go down here. There we go, we're set. Oh, I've got to put them back on now. Can't keep taking them on off, sending me dizzy. Uh, Anna, on trading view, you drop a bit the camera, please. It's to see the time frame. Okay, yeah. Oops, sorry. Is that okay, Anna? Ah, guys. Right. What I want to do is maybe put that here. I'm going to start. So we're going to have one for totals. Oh, but I know what I need to do. Uh, okay. All right, open trade. All right, I'm just going to do 20 pips TP1. Sorry, 25. Why did I do that? Oh, God, I'm not sure I can keep these glasses on. It's sending my eyes funny. Okay, so first trade is sat in. On the other screen, your pick is over the time frame. Okay, so on trading view, the picture, the camera's over the time frame. Okay, need a bigger screen or a smaller head or no webcam. All right, not a lot going on. Oh God. So 1 second, guys. I just had a cancellation this afternoon. Right. Okay, let me just see what we can do here. There's nothing here. I'm definitely not doing anything with the NASDAQ. Um, DAX is still sat under the key level, so my alert's not gone off there. So it's just a matter of sitting tight, guys, and waiting for the NASDAQ, waiting for gold to pop. Fingers crossed we can get a nice little move out of this. But even if we can get T1 and done, this will be the first trade for YouTube of 2026. Uh, Ian. Um, okay. One of the members is just asking, are we on Zoom on WhatsApp? So hopefully he'll check the Telegram. I'll have a look at it, but it I don't trade pound yen anymore. Here we go. I'll tell you what, let's set up the auto break even for. Uh, so we put a 20 pip auto break even in. Jez, no webcam. What is what's Jez saying? All these messages coming through on every different platform right now. I've got messages on Zoom, messages on YouTube, WhatsApp. All right. I'm not going to be responsive to messages right now, guys, because we're relatively close to triggering. Bridget, no, I'm not in this trade. When I'm in a trade, you'll see a big blue or big orange number come up in the top right-hand corner. My buy order is above the 15-minute candle high. So it's a pending buy stop. There you go. I'm in now. So just move stops up underneath the 15-minute low. Probably been a little bit aggressive there, but I feel like I'm in the cinema with these glasses on. Everything just seems massive. Is it 708? So where our TP1 is would be basically the break of the high of the 30-minute candle. So if TP1 hits, we should have a nice big move through the 30-minute candle highs. This is a buy, Kali, sorry. So we're 10 pips up now, 12 pips up. This was our entry price. It was a break of the 15-minute candle high. Market pulled back down, broke the highs. We have an auto break even sat at 20 pips. So we're halfway to the auto break even. Right. That was too close to my auto break even. Too close. I don't like it when that happens. So I'm not going to let this one turn into a losing trade. So If I see price come back to my entry, I'm going to close it down. I'm going to give it another run to get to the 20 points. But if it doesn't get there, you see how close it came to my 70% rule. So no matter what, this is not going to be a losing trade. So worst case scenario, I'm going to close it, close full. So if it comes back to my entry price, I'm going to close it all. We can take it again on the 30-minute if we get a move higher. Now, if it runs up towards the auto break even, we get there, fantastic. But that was literally just a pip away from auto break even. So okay, DAX is popping. Yeah, thank you, Peter Cole. Yeah, need to close above. I mean, the DAX, I think this is its 14th straight day producing a higher high. How many days will it go before it decides to have a little pullback? Hmm. Okay, so all I'm doing here, guys, is because we got within like a stone's throw, well, a whisker of hitting auto break even. I'm just watching the blue numbers. As soon as I come down to my entry price, I'm just going to hit stop loss at entry. I mean, if it breaks the highs, then fantastic, and we go on. But I'm not having something that got so close to auto break even turn into a negative trade. In fact, a 15-minute candle's about to close. So it still looks quite good actually. But the next candle, more than likely, is probably, if it's going to do anything, if we're going to push higher, unless buyers come straight in, we'll create some liquidity coming down, track those buyers before it pops higher. So we'll see. There we go. 4 seconds for the new candle. what we can do, if it breaks the highs, we can push our stop right underneath the low of this candle if it just goes straight up. So we'll be in a positive stop, but here comes the liquidity. It's still like this. DAX buys looks good, guys. DAX buys as well. I'm not going to be in two trades at once, but the DAX looks lovely. Who's placed the DAX? Ideally, this can break the highs. We can get to break even, then we can jump across to the DAX and place that. The DAX looks great, guys. What am I going to do? Oh, there we go. And I've done, okay, break the highs and then I'll bring my stop underneath the low of this candle. I've done exactly what, trying to keep my eye on two charts. Yeah, break even. Well done, Peter Cole. You managed it exactly how it should have been done. The new buy order, if you want a new buy order, should be above the high of this. So above that 15, or get the buys in above the DAX. But like I said, I'm not going to have two trades running at the same time. And I'm not coming off this chart now because I've just made a fatal error. Right, idiot. DAX buys, guys. DAX buys. Buy stop above the 15-minute candle high. Hmm, 20 pips. Right, DAX is testing the level. So gold, if you're taking it, will be above the high of this 15-minute bullish candle here. If we pop through there, if you've left your order, we're going to bring our stops underneath this 15-minute candle low if we break the highs. To be fair, as soon as we break the highs, it'll auto break even will trigger. So need about a $3 move for that to happen. Yeah. Peter Cole's placed the DAX, nice. Stupid. You should have just hit the stop loss at entry. But never mind. Mm, okay, DAX. Yeah, DAX is fine, guys. Don't worry about the DAX buys. Um, Testing the level, absolutely fine. Um, this is what I'm not happy about. And and didn't do what I said I was going to do, which was when it comes back to my entry, I was just going to hit stop loss at entry. I was flicking over at this one, and next thing I was 11 pips down. I mean, the only saving grace I've got here right now is we've got two very nice sort of candle formations. This comes straight down from the open of this candle. So a flip of this candle, we should run straight into T1, T2, I would have thought, but it is a very deep retracement. I wouldn't bother with a flip entry if anyone's looking at the flip because it's only a small wick to trade into. But DAX, if it breaks the lows, then I would leave that until we get, I'd cancel the DAX orders. So look, I'm just going to flip to the DAX quickly. Where is it? Okay, so if if the DAX breaks these lows, then I'd if it comes down and takes out this support area here, I'd leave it alone and wait for another push higher. Um, don't worry if it comes down, taps this area, still leave the order in. Ooh, that wasn't a cut. Right, okay, now I'm not keen. We've taken out the low of this 15-minute candle. And that was a not so keen 30 seconds on the DAX. Looking at the DAX, gold just dropped its pants. Okay, so this is going to be a 2.5 bags down this morning. Okay, so next. Mm, okay, so even the 30 won't look good unless we break the highs. So we need this support level hasn't held. If we break those lows, that this needs to flip. See, this is where I'm going to call it out. This is where bad management can kill profitability. We went from an 18 pip positive trade to a 40 pip negative trade. Now, some people might say, oh, well, your rules were to get to 20 pips and break even. Yeah, they are. But when you get so close to whether it's a TP or an auto break even, and it doesn't get there, and it had a couple of attempts at it, you just got to look at it and say, right, even if this, right, if this does flip round and go bullish and we make money out of it, I won't be happy with it. What I'd rather have done is got stopped out at break even and then retaken the trade above this high. That would be my preference. So I'd have been in the trade a lot less time. Yes, it would have been profitable, and yes, I would have got stopped at break even. But then I wouldn't have had to endure a negative 35, 40 pip trade for it only to turn around and go and do what I wanted it to do in the first place. Because we could have just taken the entry above this 15-minute candle. So yeah, not a trade I'm enjoying and not happy with the management. So again, this is where, you know, if you're in a trade, just focus on the one trade. Even if your alerts go off, just focus on the one trade. If you want to take the other trade, just close the trade down, small profit, break even, loss, whatever, and then come back to it. Just focus on that one trade. So if this does turn out okay, I won't be happy with the management of this. Would you close 50% of the trade or just wait? Would I close 50% of this? No, 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 no. Because look, I mean, ultimately we put our stops underneath here. So in terms of that type of management where I could have done the stops, I'm happy with that. But I should have taken the whole trade off when it got back to its entry price. But I don't like to move stops early. I was just going to close with close full. Um, but like I said, if it does flip, I think we'll run on and hit T1 and T2. But we should have, in theory, just closed it down and then waited for price to break this high for a second entry. DAX is still um, sat underneath the level, but yeah, 4 minutes left. So right, DAX is getting very close to those support levels now. 3 minutes left for this candle and the 30-minute candle. Hmm, what, 2 minutes. DAX is still holding at that support area, but yeah, no, I think DAX I'd leave alone now. Okay, 1 minute 10 seconds. Will this candle flip? One minute. 40 seconds. And okay, so it's flipped. Now, if we break the high, we've got what 30 seconds to do it. Now, look what could happen. 30-minute candles closing. We could do the same thing as what happened last time, which is we could come down, grab some liquidity, and go again. The only difference is we have higher time frame kind of agreement right now, which is bullish candle. Now, what I am going to do is I'm just going to close half because if it is going to come grab some liquidity, I'm going to close half and move my stop up to break even. I'm not. I can get rid of the auto break even now. So there we go, T1. Okay, so it's worked out in the end, but it's not through what I'd say a way that I would like to have done it. That is how I would like to have done it, which would have been the break above that high, as I said, and that would have been okay. You'd be 10 points up now as opposed to 28, but the second entry would have been a much better, uh, much better trade. I'm just going to move that up slightly to cover any sort of spreads. Okay, DAX has broken the low of the candle that broke above the range. So anyone that had a DAX order, I think safe to say you can cancel it. The H1 on the DAX, I'm not changing the charts right now because we're in this trade. So if we can push higher, fantastic. Check out H1 on the DAX, guys. Could this be the marking of a little correction, or we're gonna? I think preference for the DAX, even if it does start to correct from here, would be only to look for buys until we get below 25,358. Yeah, but just remember, Anna, the outside candle is it coming off any type of resistance, or is this going to be the first? Is this a new resistance forming? If it is, then just sit on the sidelines, wait for a change in structure. Don't chase it. Okay, and there we go. We're out. Okay, so let's have a look at the DAX now to see what we're talking about. Okay, so this was obviously forming an outside candle, but remember we don't have a change in structure. So I'll be waiting for sells underneath here, even if this does form a big outside candle. Preference will be for the market to retrace down into this area and form a support to trade it back up and continue with the trend. I'm going to stay away from all this mess here. I'm only going to look for buys. And again, buys would be still if we get, well, now buys would be if we get a close above here and a buyer candle down here at 25,355 or a breakout below 25,354. Okay, so they're going to be the setups. Buys above here, buys from here if we get a buyer candle, or sells from here if we break below this price point. Gold, there's nothing now. Probably have to wait for the hourly to close, see if we. But yeah, just wait for the hourly to close now, and then you've got about 140 pips to trade into. So nothing's going to set up for me now until at least 8 o'clock. Okay, nothing's going to set up for me until at least 8 o'clock. At which point I'll be on the school run. So that's it. My morning's done now. Right. How do I set up another text box? Plus text 2026 results. Okay. 2026 trades. 1 win, 0 loss, 0 break even. Okay, we got okay. Oh no, that's not what I want. I need black, black. So guys, bear with me a second. I just need to font, background color. Okay. Where's the maybe size 12. Okay. Oh, what's going on here? Oh my days. Select font, Arial, regular, 12. Color, color. Okay, I don't know where that is. Okay, so what I'm trying to do is I'm just trying to put the results on. So let me just update this one. So it's 78 wins. So I'm going to do a total. So this will be total trades. Let me just put, and then I'm trying to do a 2026. So enable Arial. So let's see, select font. Oh, it's 22. Okay. Alignment left top. Okay, so that's changed. Select font. 22 Arial regular. Okay. This is select color. Okay. Opacity. Okay. What? Why is there? I don't understand why. Uh, that's why. Okay. Okay, so I'm just gonna put them somewhere together, and then we'll sort that out later. All right, guys. Have I've got to find a home for this one. Maybe they can all come down here. Let's get rid of that. Okay, I'll have a play around with this later while we're all gone. Okay, so that's it for me today. Maybe I'll lose the webcam as well. You don't need to see me. But okay, guys, have a great morning. I'm gonna go and get my little one ready for school. Um, DAX shorts could be on the cards. Don't need that anymore. Um, DAX shorts could be on the cards if we get below 25,354. But also watch for buys in this price point. So one trade for this morning, one win, or break even depending how you managed it. Well done, team, and I'll see you at 1 o'clock today. Have a good one. Bye bye.